For those wondering why I'm so concerned with the installation that began within our unit in mid-August, perhaps some experiences from the following articles will provide you with some insight to my concerns. I'm going to read straight from this article titled, Creepy Landlord Fakes Maintenance to Install Surveillance Camera. This was published in 2019, and the author goes by Garrett. Whether you rent or own your home, you assume a certain amount of privacy in your living space. But a tenant who posted on Reddit recently discovered their landlord trying to run surveillance on them in their apartment. Under the pretense of doing regular maintenance, they installed a security camera with audio without the tenant's knowledge or consent. The article goes on to say several Airbnb guests have taken to social media to complain about finding cameras during their stays that were not disclosed by property owners as well. While Airbnb is a slightly separate topic, the platform is largely based on property owners who are renting to the general public, and although it is morally and ethically wrong, it is still being done. These property owners have taken it upon themselves to discreetly install surveillance in intimate places, private places where renters are dwelling. We're not talking about common areas like, such as the lobby or a hallway where the installation of a camera is perfectly acceptable and in most cases welcome, but we're talking about surveillance within a unit where there's a privacy is expected, where there's a bathroom and there's a kitchen and there's a living room, so on and so. That's what we're talking about. Surveillance in those private parts of a unit. Basically, it's happening. Secret surveillance in rentals is happening. It exists. It is not uncommon. Also, a family from New Zealand, from the same article, went viral on Facebook when they discovered a camera hidden in a smoke alarm in the residence where they were renting in Cork. The patriarch of the family might not have even realized they were under camera surveillance were it not for his background in IT. Was renting with 4 or 5 minor children, which is horrifying considering they had no clue. The article continues with various images of common household items that landlords or property owners use to secretly surveillance their renters. The link for this article will be included in the description box below, and if you read it, you will see the various common household items that are used as hidden surveillance. And I believe our privacy has been violated already in a similar manner. And while I do believe that is the case, or has been the case in the past within this very unit, it's important to prevent any further violations of privacy from potentially occurring. So these things happen, and taking certain measures when it comes to installations that are being made within one's unit could potentially prevent unwelcome, unethical, and hidden surveillance from being installed within one's unit. This Rio article reads, cases of surveillance abuse abound. In other words, it is not uncommon for property owners to install hidden surveillance within the units that they are renting to the public. More and more of these cases are coming to light every day. An example is listed here, a multi-million Australian landlord, and not just here in the United States, but all over what are generally considered to be developed countries, this type of unethical behavior is occurring. And we're not discussing surveillance in common areas such as a lobby or a hallway that is shared in a building, but we're talking about the unethical practice of hidden surveillance by property owners or landlords within a unit that is used as a dwelling space where privacy is commonly expected. Bedroom, living room, bathroom, kitchen, etc., that are not shared and where surveillance has not been disclosed. This article provides a reference from another article that reads, a multi-million landlord was sentenced to 18 months after he was found spying on tenants with apartment hidden cameras. That article was in The Sun. A second article within this article says, police documents obtained revealed the discovery of cables snaking through the roof and the floor of a home where the Japanese property owner secretly filmed couples naked and having intimate relations and doing other intimate things. Links to all of these articles will be in the description box below. Within this article, in the case of a 42-year-old landlord by the name of Hill, police say Hill was using a pinhole-style camera attached to a handheld computer to record the people in his duplex. And the bulk of the equipment was so much so that, according to the article, prosecutors said it would take months to analyze all of the electrical equipment found in his duplex. That is scary. Of course, if you read the articles that are linked below, you'll find that in all of these cases, in most of these cases, the surveillance was for entirely inappropriate reasons. There's one more article linked in the Rio article detailing the case of a different landlord who used CCTV cameras inside of the unit of a tenant who ended up taking his case to court. CCTV cameras inside a tenant's unit, so the landlord is watching what's going on like it's a reality show. Meanwhile, he's collecting rent from this renter. So right now, I'd like to read some comments from the individuals who protest that their property owners are secretly surveillancing them as well, and how I, and perhaps you, may or may not relate to their experiences. This is from the Rio article. I went to the comment section, and one person by the name of Lori wrote in response to the article, it makes it convenient, it being the surveillance cameras, for them to track your coming and going and nose around in personal space when they know you're gone. I recently moved, wasn't aware of camera, and caught landlord flying around the corner, running a stop sign, exiting my street as I just run a short errand. It becomes clear. It's become clear. So, right, once you're gone, weirdos making a run for it, or strangers appearing to make a run for it, just as you've come back home from running an errand, and that the possibility that someone has been inside of your unit. I can relate to that as well. Tiffany said she signed a contract without knowing beforehand and equates the experience to being on reality TV. So this person did not know there were security cameras within her unit, and after signing the lease, I guess, or a contract, was subject to being surveillance within her apartment. That's crazy. Day and age. Another commenter says, Lori says again, I'd like to put my own camera up to discourage him tracking my comings and goings and coming while I'm gone. I suspect he has entered my apartment. Same. I suspect we've had things missing, so it with no valid explanation. So our apartment has been entered without our consent while we have not been here. Another commenter says, I totally agree, Tiffany. I do feel like it is a violation of my privacy. My landlord has 3 cameras pointing at my door. Someone else says, if it's pointed in a way that can record inside your door when it opens and shuts, then ask the landlord to position it so it only gets a side view. Chuck says, our landlord just installed a security camera to monitor the living room without giving us prior warning. She told us after it was installed. She has not said whether there is audio. I feel violated. Mitchell says, I'm getting spied on by authority in Bakersfield, California, and they watch me in my bedroom and bathroom and kitchen and have other residents on top of my apartment in the soon-to-be 3rd floor, in which it's bigger than my apartment. They watch me 24/7 and break into my apartment almost every time I leave. I have pictures from motion sensor cameras set up. One picture of one of the other residents and a girl, another guy holding up a gun, and my camera to show me they can get in anytime they want. Have been told 3 times if I don't shut up, I would be killed by the maintenance man. They have stolen money, cigarettes, brand new clothes, and shoes, my tools. Mitchell's story sounds crazy, but I can relate to having things removed from our unit as well, which indicates that someone removed it and it was not myself or those who share the unit with me, which leaves us to conclude that another hand removed the items from our unit, most likely on an occasion when neither of us were here. So I can relate to Mitchell's story in that way. And the comments go on, and I just want to share some of those other experiences of people who know that surveillance has been installed within their units because they discovered it. There are several Reddits and individuals posting on various social media platforms sharing their hidden surveillance rental nightmares.